So you want to sell your home and you want to do it on your own. Today we're going to dive through all of the steps that it takes for you to be able to sell your home without a realtor. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is your realtor Nick Isgro with eXp Realty here in the state of Maine. As you know, in this channel we cover all things real estate here in the state of Maine, particularly in the central Maine market. If that's of interest to you, go ahead and smash that like button, hit the subscribe, go ahead and knock that little alarm bell, and you'll be notified every time we put out new content. Now, as I said at the beginning, today we're going to go through all of the steps that it takes for you to sell your home without a realtor. Now that might seem like a really weird video for a realtor to be putting out, but the reality is, as realtors, we do work with a lot of for sale by owners. Oftentimes that's going to be in the role of a buyer's agent, and we'll get into that a little bit more later into this video. And sometimes we actually do end up getting the listing, but not always. But regardless, there's going to be that segment of the population that wants to be able to sell their home without the assistance of a professional real estate agent. And in that case, we want to be able to outline the way to do that properly, because it's good to have that information going in on the front end rather than stumbling through and figuring out on the way. So you want to stick around to the end of this video so you can know all of those steps. Now, diving right in here, the first thing you need to do if you are going to sell your home by yourself as a for sale by owner is you have to have the right team. You have to put your team together. Now, the first member of this team is going to be your attorney. Right from the get-go, you want to have your attorney relationship established, someone that's going to be able to go through all of the contracts, because remember, as you get into this, you're going to be negotiating contracts with buyers of your home. So you want some kind of professional to be able to go through that and give you that advice that you need in order to make sure you're making the right decision and that all of the details are there and are satisfactory to what you want and what you're looking for. Your lawyer can also help you avoid any pitfalls of liability along the way. All right, the second person that you want on your team is a photographer, and trust me when I say it's worth a couple $100 in order to hire a professional photographer to do the photos of your home. By and large, the reality is even a lot of real estate agents don't do this and don't understand this, but your job when you're marketing your home, and it can be a little bit more difficult when you're doing it on your own, is you're trying to attract the most amount of people, the right buyers, to get into the home, because you want them to get into the home so they can see if they want the home. If they're not coming through the front door, they're probably not going to ever buy the home. While it's true that there are certain homes where perhaps an iPhone or a nice camera can get in there and do the job well, if you know all of the right angles and shots, if you've worked with a professional photographer before, like a lot of us have, the reality is the people who do this for a living are going to always do it better than those of us who don't. A professional photographer, particularly someone who works specifically in real estate listings, knows all of the angles, they have the better equipment, and you're gonna have a much nicer product that will showcase your home far better and far more superior than any camera you can probably do yourself. Trust me when I say it's always worth the minor expense of hiring a professional photographer. Now, the last member of your team is going to be some kind of graphic artist who's going to be able to make flyers. You definitely want flyers that are put together that are going to showcase your home. You're going to have several of the nice photos that you might have had already taken. You're going to have a lot of the detailed information about the house, square footage, age, features, benefits, stuff about the location, anything that you want to express to the potential buyer that might attract them to your home over somebody else's is information you want on that flyer. Now, if you are technologically savvy, there's a lot of great programs out there that you can use in order to make your own flyers. I would just recommend, if you're not, and it's just something that you're gonna kick around and not actually get to because it's gonna be a little bit more time consuming because you're not used to that kind of thing, hire somebody. It's not gonna cost a lot of money in order to get that done. All right, moving on to the second step of listing your home without the use of a realtor is you have to figure out the price that the home is going to sell for. Now, the way realtors do this is through a comparative market analysis, and this is something that by and large you might be able to do yourself. You can go on and look at some of the other homes in your area, specifically try to look for homes that are a lot like your home. For example, if you are trying to market a small ranch, you probably don't want to compare it to a 3,000-foot colonial, and vice versa. Regardless of what you're doing and what you're selling, you want to try to find homes that are as much like your home as possible and are in a similar location to your home as well. So start perusing through the listings and get a good sense of what's out there and what they're selling for. If you don't know your specific square footage, that's going to be on your tax card, which you can get at the town office. Most town offices are online today and have that information, but if they're not, in a lot of the small towns here in Maine, a simple email to the town clerk will get that sent over to you, and that way you can have a good idea of how to calculate the price as you're looking at it per square foot, which is how we do it. Other things to consider when you're looking at how to price your home is considering the condition of your home compared to those other homes that are out there. Because remember, if your home is overpriced, then it's going to sit there. It's going to sit there for a long time. Buyers are particularly savvy right now and looking at what's fair market value. You're going to have to go through price reduction after price reduction and ultimately get less money than you could have probably if you had just priced it right from the get-go. Conversely, you don't want to leave money on the table either, so you don't want your home underpriced. You're really looking for what might be the actual market value of your home in current market conditions, considering what else is on the market, looking at the space, looking at the conditions, and trying to find that sweet spot to get your home the most money possible, but also getting it moved as quickly as possible. Now, the third step to selling your home without a real estate agent is just trying to get a general sense of understanding of what kind of market are you in. Are you in a buyer's market? Are you in a seller's market? That's going to make not only an impact on step 2, the price, but also how you market the home. Currently, right now, as just about everybody knows, we are in a seller's market, so it's a little bit easier to market your home. That doesn't mean that there's not competition out there, which is why you still want your home to be in the best condition possible, because you're still trying to edge out the competition, particularly if you're looking to get that last little bit on the price. So pay attention to the market, understand where you are in your particular local market, because every town even is different sometimes here in the state of Maine and elsewhere. So know what market you're in. That's going to decide how exactly you market your home and what kind of language and descriptions you're putting out in your flyers and so forth. All right, guys, so the fourth step to marketing your home without a realtor is figuring out the marketing plan. So obviously you want your home to be shown to as many people as possible, as many people who are looking for homes. Because remember, most buyers out there are working with agents, but they're also searching online every day, looking for themselves, seeing what might get missed, and trying to find the best home for them. Buyers that are in the market, by and large, are very motivated right now. They know it's a competitive market, and they're trying to find the right home for them, and they're always looking to edge out the competition themselves in the same way you are with other sellers. So a couple of options is you could go to Facebook. Not only your personal Facebook page, but Facebook Marketplace. Now look, I put a motorcycle on Facebook Marketplace a year ago and it sold literally in a couple of days of being on there. People are putting their homes in the Facebook Marketplace. Be advised, you're probably going to get a lot of calls from investors and people who want to see your home. It's going to probably get a lot of activity. So do go ahead, post it on your personal page with all of the information, because a lot of your friends and people on your friends list might, if they're not looking for homes themselves, you're going to know somebody who is looking for a home. You'll see people tag other people's names in the comments and things like that. But also be sure to put it in Facebook Marketplace. It's going to be a wonderful place to market your home. Now, the last thing to consider is putting your home on the MLS. A lot of people think that only realtors can list the home in the MLS. Not true. For a small fee, you can find services to get your home listed in the MLS. Now, a word of caution here. When you put your home in the MLS, you are going to get calls from a lot of agents, because the people who are looking at those listings by and large are going to be represented by buyer's agents, and a lot of those agents are going to be looking for at least 2 or 3% buyer's fee for their commission. It's something that you want to consider up front. However, just remember that all things in real estate, no matter how you're selling it with or without an agent, are always negotiable. All right, guys, so the last step to marketing your home by yourself, if you are looking to do for sale by owner, is negotiating. You've done the marketing, you've done the pricing, everything's coming to line, you're now starting to get offers. I would advise you probably don't just take the first offer you get and accept it and sign it. Do a couple of things. For one thing, in this market, you might want to consider right up front setting a deadline saying, hey, look, we're going to show the home for a week, we're going to collect offers on such and such a date, and we're going to review all of those offers. Now, when you get an offer that you like, remember, it is negotiable. So it's not like you just have to sign right away. You can always go back with a counter offer. Anytime you have a purchase and sale agreement, it's always going to have that space in there for you to put out a counter offer if the original offer is not acceptable to you. And I would advise that you take all of the information you've been learning along the way, taking into consideration your local market, oftentimes maybe running it by your attorney as someone who's going to look over all of the terms to make sure not just the price, because the attorney is probably not going to be the best for that, but all of the terms and conditions like inspections and things like that, prorations of things like fuel, items that might be included in the sale, that all of those things that are outside of the realm of price that you might not consider up front when selling your home are going to be considered. Your attorney will be a great resource for that. After that, guys, it's really just signing the contract and getting yourself moving towards closing. So that's it, guys. Those are the steps from start to finish in order to market your home for sale without the use of a real estate agent. Now, keep in mind there's a few other things you want to consider on the front end before actually going live with any kind of listing. For one, get your house ready, get it ready to show, get it stage ready. We have other videos here on how to do that so your home can show as best as possible compared to the other competition that's on the market. Also, think about any security concerns that you might have, because remember, if you're selling your home for sale by owner, you're not screening the people who are going to be contacting you to look at your home. So you just want to make sure that if you're showing your home by yourself, that you are doing so in a safe environment and that you're not inviting any bad elements into the home who might not be there for really above board reasons. Maybe they're not really interested in buying the home, they're just trying to check things out, things like that. So you want to make sure there's some kind of pre-screening questions, some way to get past so that you feel very secure in who you're bringing into your home. The other things that you want to think about are how are you going to show your home? If you are living by yourself or there's two people in a home who are both working outside of the home, how are you going to get your home shown during work hours when you're not at the house? So these are just some other things to consider as you're going through the process of for sale by owner. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thanks so much for sticking around to the end of this video. As always, if you are in this process like this, if you've been thinking about selling your home, if you've ever sold a home yourself and you have tips for some of the viewers here, please go ahead and drop a comment below. I love to get that information, that conversation going. Just a reminder again, guys, my name is Nick Isgro with eXp Realty here in Central Maine. And until next week, see you next time.